r/ask Reddit. What corporate buzzwords phrases make your skin crawl? Fast-paced environment. AKA, you'll be doing the work of 2 or 3, but only getting paid for 1. Barely. Source. I worked in a fast-paced environment for nearly 5 years. I had a nervous breakdown and panic attacks, and am now on anti-anxiety medication. Edit. Thanks for the awards. Also, for those who reached out about mental health, I'm doing much better now that I'm medicated. It gives me some perspective. I also have a much better job now, with nicer bosses. I hope everyone else who is struggling in the same situation all the best. It's a shit place to be in, but it gets better. This is kinda how it is for me now. Really, we should have 3 people. Many times it's just me. I've learned to just work at my own pace, and the place I work for can feel the suffering if it comes down to it. We are looking for a dynamic and enthusiastic team player who is confident and adaptable. Responsibilities include supporting senior leadership and taking responsibility for duties and workloads as assigned. You'll be a member of an exciting and fast-paced team working in a challenging environment. Yes, but what do I do? Don't forget a snugget, which I saw on a job posting last week. Exhibiting courage in the face of ambiguity. Pretty sure that's code for you won't know what to do and will have to figure it out in the moment. And it might make you question your integrity. You'll be getting conflicting orders from multiple levels of management that all somehow answer to each other, but there's zero accountability. So no matter what, your choice will be wrong. So you might as well do whatever you decide is best and take whatever vitriol is thrown at you. Right to work laws apply. Employee can be fired at a moment's notice, but employee must provide 2 weeks notice if they intend to terminate employment. Master's degree desire $18/HR. In these unprecedented times, I see you helped write every single commercial in the last 5 years. I want to go back to the precedented times. We're a family here. We're all a big family here. Awkward silence. Killer what we do in the shadows, ref if intentional. Wear men a hat, sucker, do your job and other people's jobs as well. This is usually smaller companies doing things on the cheap, or who can't afford to pay more. In my InfoSec days, a recruiter LinkedIn messaged me with an opportunity. It was basically CISO, security engineer, penetration tester and vulnerability manager, and a one-man SOC all rolled into one role. Salary £50,000. That was taking the piss. With the right experience, those jobs each are worth more than £50,000. The CISO can run into 6 figures for a good one. Exactly. I am an hour guy, but I also wear the hat of event planner, data analyst, secretary, etc. Right sizing it means they're going to fire a bunch of people and dump all that extra work on those who remain. Merge departments. AHP. Too many people now. Let's fire the undesirables. Wait a bit. We're going to split up the department. How else will the MBAs show they're useful? Go to medal to make you think you need them. I will strangle the life out of the next person who says record profits, especially when followed with but no raises will be given. Our company has been telling us for 6+ years that we're an in-person company and productivity would suffer if we worked from home. Covered it. We've now posted record profits and all metrics show productivity has increased. So of course they're sending us all back to office full time so we can have Skype and WebEx meetings from a cubicle instead of our desk at home, lol. The higher ups pushing for the no more work from home are the boomer higher ups. My company flourished during COVID and posted record profits. We also got a very small costs of living increase, but our senior leadership wants us back in the office because that's how they had to work and it's impossible to be productive all the time from home. We work hard but we play hard. You hear that? And it's time to nope right the duck out of there. My team at my last job was like this. By work hard they meant working late nights and weekends for months. By play hard they meant my boss throws a get together that gets out of control where him and his daughter are having a fight in the yard and people are throwing up from too much alcohol. Bring monthly donuts and yearly pizza in the break room also. I'll give you back X minutes of your day after ending a meeting early. Okay, but my I'll give you back 16 seconds of your day joke when I end a meeting at 10 hours, 59 minutes, and 44 seconds is still okay, right? As someone who also loves to watch my co-workers die inside after I tell jokes, yes, keep doing this. Always wanted to put together a presentation using phrases generated on this site, but never summed up the courage to do it. Web economy bullshit generator minor NSFW in the URL. TFW, the shit this generates is indistinguishable from the way every startup describes itself. Harness cross-platform interfaces, utilize rich markets for a contextualize visionary applications, driver interactive communities, monetize B2B paradigms, literally 5 consecutive runs. And I wouldn't so much as blink if I saw any of them on a job posting. Okay, cool. But what do you do? Girl boss. I'm a woman who has to work for a living. Not a girl boss. Also not a girl. I'm an adult. Boss babe. Bostress. Circling back. I like to touch base and put a pin on it. I really like to unpack. I like to circle back and put it in my back pocket also. The other day, instead of telling me that we would see where we were at the end of the day, my husband said we would discuss the state of play. I haven't let him live it down since. What a weirdo. Did he want to circle back on it? How's your business arrangement marriage going? Synergy. I had a client who picked this word up a few years ago. I started tallying how often she said it in meetings. One time my boss was sitting next to me and asked what I was doing. When I told her, she nearly blew it by laughing. This comment made me visualize having a bingo card with phrases like low-hanging fruit, synergy, toss at the wall and see what sticks, circle back, let's take this offline, bingo. My office has an open door policy. I had a full bird colonel in the Air Force, a year or two from retirement, and he was not going to be promoted to 1-star general. Say, my office has an open door policy. If you see it's open, close it. He got tired of having to mind-wipe everyone who accidentally saw him help manage the Stargate project. Piggyback, as in great point, Fred. I'd like to piggyback on what you said with some more irrelevant information. I'd like to make sure I'm heard saying something despite not actually having anything to contribute. Using sustainability like it is some newfound concept. Bonus points for using it incorrectly. I do some copywriting for clothing companies and basically if they aren't disposable after you wear them twice and are overpriced, they market themselves as sustainable LOL. As a programmer, all of the agile lingo, duck your scrums, scrum masters, stand-ups, and sprints. Sprints just make it predictable ahead of time which days you'll spend procrastinating and which days you'll spend scrambling to finish the shit you spent the last week procrastinating to do. Exactly, but the problem is if you don't procrastinate and finish your work a week early, Agile ensures your manager is aware of that immediately so that they can assign you additional work. Resource as a synonym for person. Imagine if they would just call it the human people department. Human capital. Leveraging diversity. A lot of the time diversity itself is code for we want to sound like we're doing good things, but not actually have to put a ton of effort into it. A lot of the time it's tokenism. We hired a black guy and promoted a woman, and I'm pretty sure someone here is gay. Yay, we're diverse. We're not saving lives yet they make the issues pressing enough as if that's exactly what they think we're doing. Go to Bezuk's new phrase, metamates, me. Company comes first, then your co-workers, you yourself, dead last. So much for work-life balance. I'm waiting for them to say because you can't spell meta without team. Someone got a corporate hard on, I bet. We are seeking accountancy rockstars. Referring to people as rockstars is in the same vein as superheroes. I can't stand either of the terms. Or anything that ends with champion. We are seeking accountancy rockstars, but we are not willing to pay for that quality. In the trenches, I find it very distasteful. I am sitting in an air-conditioned office FFS. I could not be further from the horrors of trench warfare. And this phrase is fraternal twin front lines. Empowerment or transparency. Companies don't know what these words mean. Empowered equals you actually have no additional power. You just shoulder more blame when things go wrong. Transparent equals you tell me everything and I'll tell you what I need you to know. The word pivot and the phrase I'm aligned with that. Pivot, 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 shut up, shut up, shut AAHP. Recently had an all-staff meeting, and you could have made a drinking game out of how many times pivot was said. Blug. Touching base and low hanging fruit. To circle back, I'd like to touch base on leaning into the scalability of this low hanging fruit, ASAP. Okay, I never see low hanging fruit without thinking of the old man sitting around in his boxers, jizzing. Scalable, using ask as a noun. This one pisses me off to no end, because the word request is right there, ready to be used. The customer is always right. The customer can suck my fat coke. Seconded. The customer can go suck that guy's fat coke. I picked the wrong day to be a customer. Let's put a pin in that and come back to it later. Every time I hear that I think of the movie Bolt, that what the sleazy agent says to Penny. Engagement. If you pay me enough, treat me with respect, and don't make the job worse than it has to be, I'll be engaged. All others ways to get employees engaged are BS. Calling the service you sell a solution. Calling them a family. We are not a family. I can't get fired for punching a sibling in the face. We're going through some structural changes, but you have nothing to worry about. Definitely time to get the resume up to date when that gets tossed out. Team building exercise. Lean in. I hate let's take this offline the most BC, it's always a manager saying it and it just means foo and IDC. Guest instead of customer, like no, they aren't wanted here. Buy your shit and get out. Target, I did an internship there. They thought the most hilarious joke was telling the interns on the first day Target hasn't had a customer since 19XX. Pause for confusion. Target has millions of guests every day. Ha 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 ha. You see. Guests blah blah blah. I'd like to thank Employee X for championing this challenge. Make sure you capture all potential revenue streams. Dude, this is a body shop. Let's step back and take a higher level overview of these documents. Please advise. Emails that just say thank you. I appreciate the thank you emails because I want to ensure people actually receive the information I'm sending them. The please advise emails are generally a follow-up where someone didn't do what I asked them to do. Collaboration. This is the main reason they're pushing return to office. We need to collaborate with our peers. Think of the brainstorming you'll do next to the elevators and water fountain. In reality, we'll be having team meetings at our desks via Teams while I do glorified data entry. We don't collaborate at all. I personally hate people who claim they're playing devil's advocate because they are usually using that phrase incorrectly in an attempt to sound smarter than they actually are, and are just trying to hide the fact that they weren't paying attention or don't understand what's being discussed. Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, but why can't we install this motor on this piece of machinery? Because this motor's specification does not meet the required output of the machine, meaning it'll be running the conveyor way too slow. Okay, I gotcha. But again, playing devil's advocate here, why would that be a problem? Bruh. Competitive salary. We like things done a certain way really just means we're going to micromanage the shit out of you. We're a family really just means we will not respect boundaries and expect you to bend to our every whim. Lean. Corporate culture and core values just stop. Instead of doing your job, you're taking ownership of a task. Competitive salary. Competing with what? Your dignity. Customer journey. Let's park this for now as a synonym for I won't ever talk about this again. S-M-A-R-T goals. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.